everybody, welcome back to Buzzard-Roost. I am Buzzard. This is Family Friends Friday. Nothing particular. About 2 weeks ago, some of my grandbabies helped me dig up some potatoes, the ones I had growing in the shade. And I knew it wasn't going to be what you call a big harvest, but it was about a 3-gallon bucket. We didn't dig them all up. We dug quite a few of them up, and they was more like new potatoes. Like I said, I understood that wasn't going to get a humongous harvest off of them. And you got to remember also, when I planted them, they was leftover from last year, and probably the biggest one was the size of a 50-cent piece, and they're starting to get where they're shriveling up. So I was really surprised that they actually produced. Now, I left some of them in the ground. I don't know if they will rot over the winter. It gets quite a few leaves there, so it may insulate it quite a bit. But hopefully they come up again next year without me planting them. That will also mean they will be up earlier, and of course being protected by the leaves and blanket of insulation. No leaves on the tree, so they should get pretty good sunshine. But whenever we was out there, the 2 youngest ones went back to the house with Grandma, and Maverick stayed out with me to help me dig up some more. And he was getting hot and sweaty, and he was ready to go in. And I said, well, we just got a little bit more. Let's just keep going. And we dug up a couple more plants, and he was ready to quit. And I said, you know how your daddy is big and strong? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, that's because he works hard, and he gets the job done that needs to be done. So he toughed it out. He's got a good dad to look up to. So, like I said, he toughed it out. We finished up a few more plants, probably another 6 plants, and then we went in the house. And this is a couple of weeks ago. I forgot to do an update video. But anyway, it made me realize that I probably done more with my older kids. Than I did with my younger kids. And it's my doing. I gave excuses, and I realized the other day, whenever I was getting aggravated, I had several people give me excuses, and those pretty pathetic excuses. And I did voice how I was feeling to my youngest daughter, which she is 15 now. And so anyway, then I realized how many excuses that I have given on the backside of 50 of years. So when people realize what they've done, it's hard to undo it. Now, here in the last few years, I have pushed more for my kids to become more self-sufficient, buy extra food, get stuff that you need, extra stuff in case something happens. Well, this last February, it's not so much I told them so, and I'm glad that the shortages and stuff kind of eased up. They are only going to get worse. but they're the government or whoever is trying to put on the facade that things will get back to normal, and I hope they do. I don't want to see none of my kids go through it long term if it could be avoided. But if it does happen, I want them to be able to depend less on the system. So if you have kids, young or old, children or adults, work with them. The younger they are, the more fun you're going to have to make it. The older they are, the more they understand it needs to be done. But also let them know why. I've done a video here, it's been quite a while, about how my pantry has always looked like a grocery store. And all my kids, all their lives, have known that. They've seen that. And yes, I've been down to quite low on things, whether it be, divorce. That's what happened on my first big pantry I had. I left it at the house, my ex-wife and my kids. And I started rebuilding it from there. My pantry has been rebuilt probably 3 times now, but I never told my kids why. They just always known it to be. My kids always knew I worked hard. I've done a lot of stuff. You know, I don't know. But I also neglected to spend a lot of that time with them. I could have done with less work and more time with them. Now, my oldest, whenever she was younger, I'd done a lot of hunting and fishing, and there for a while I was a state trapper. And she would help me skin and flesh the pelts, butcher, field dress, gut and all that stuff. And my younger kids got, I guess you could say, a taste of it back in probably '04 when I was raising rabbits. And it ended up my girls helped me more than my boys did. I always thought it was going to be the other way around. Nice surprise, let's put it that way. But you need to, get back to the point I was making. I'm rambling now. The younger ones, you got to make it fun. The older ones know it's just something that needs to be done. But you need to let them know why. Now, for the younger ones, like Maverick, um, to keep him out there, I explained why his dad was so big and strong. It's because, he worked hard and he gets the job done. And by the way, all my kids that have jobs have always worked hard. But the older ones, and this is where I failed at when my kids were, let's say, preteen, tweenie, or whatever they call that now. I should explain why I had such a large pantry, why I kept 300 to 500 gallons of water storage, why I try to keep my freezers full. And I didn't do that, and I realized it. Well, with the what I call piss poor excuses, I also realized I've done way too much of that in my life. So my advice to everyone or anyone is take ownership of what you do and how you do it. And don't be afraid, embarrassed. Don't let your ego get in the way. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So own up to it. Own up to the good and the bad. Someone doing a little practice over there. But spend the time with your kids, your grandkids. Explain why you do things instead of, I'm going to ramble here. When I was younger, I used to watch my dad work on cars. And he didn't explain why he was doing something. I just watched him, seen what he was doing. I'd ask what something was. He'd tell me. But he never really explained. And that may be why I hate working on cars. Not because of my dad, because I just really didn't quite understand why you done things. And I guess I better make this video, cut it off here in a little bit. But spend the time with your kids, your grandbabies. Explain why you do things and why you do them the way you do. What's the purpose of it? Teach them. Teach them to be independent of the system as much as possible. And always, always listen to the questions they ask you. What may seem to you as kind of maybe a stupid question or a worthless question, they wouldn't be asking it. I hope this ain't interfering. I'm getting an incoming call. Anyway, the reason they're asking because they don't know. So instead of saying, this is just the way you do it, explain why. And that will stick with them for the rest of their lives. They will understand why you do things the way you do. So, I'm getting phone calls like crazy here. Like I said, this is just rambling and off the wall. I guess you'd call it a swing talk. Anyway, remember, only dead fish follow the flow of the stream. Don't be a dead fish. This is Buzzard. See ya.